Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Amir Akbar bin Abdul Rahman, matric number 1172044. This slide was prepared for the Dr. Fawaz, and the title of this research is How Pandemic Affect Muslim Students in Malaysia. Okay, for table content, first we have introduction, 1.1 background of research, 1.2 problem statement, 1.3 research question, 1.4 research objective, 1.5 significance of research, and next second literature review, and the last chapter is about research methodology. At research methodology 3.1 we have research design, 3.2 data collection, 3.3 instrument, 3.4 sample, and lastly 3.5 data analysis. Section 1.1 Background of research.
Background research. First, important to know and being concerned about current issue. Second, important to know about student health during pandemic.
Section 1.2 Problem statement.
Generally, this pandemic issue affects all parties, including workers, parents, students, and others. However, this study is focusing on students, which is how the pandemic has affects them in various ways, especially mental health. Emerging research assessing the mental health implications of COVID-19 has identified a heightened prevalence of moderate to severe self-reported depressive and anxious symptomatology among the general public by Wang and others 2020. The student has difficulty to cooperate with the surrounding during the COVID-19 during this pandemic. This is because the university has to close the change format of the assignment and loss of a loved one that happened when many people stay abroad. The studies shown the disturbance in the mental health not only have negative impact to the student, but also have a serious negative impacts on the community. As today's student is the future of the country, contributing to its development by serving various roles like teacher, engineers, doctors, nurses, and others. Sai Sailesh Kumar and others 2020. Students also may find that the possibility for their performance to drop is high due to the effect of this pandemic to their health. This is because when it comes to their health, they are specifically affecting their mental. To conclude, this qualitative student is to identify the effects of the pandemic among students, specifically on the mental health. Also, the student can gain a knowledge about the effect of pandemic towards mental health among students. Okay, next research question. Number 1. What is the level knowledge of Muslim students about COVID-19? Second, what is the effect of the pandemic toward mental health among Muslim students. And lastly, what is the solution that can be made to avoid mental health of the Muslim student badly affected during the pandemic? Research objective: to identify the level of knowledge among Muslim students about pandemic disease COVID-19. Second, to discuss the effect of the pandemic toward mental health among Muslim students. And lastly, to determine the solution that can be made to avoid mental health of the Muslim student badly affected during the pandemic disease, which is COVID-19.
Section 1.5 Significance of Research.
This study will be a significant endeavor in dividing general information about pandemic diseases that can be a threat to our society. This pandemic disease has had a devastating impact on people's daily lives. When facing with this disease, none of us are excluded to overcome the pandemic diseases. The finding of this also will provide awareness and knowledge to the student. Other than that, this study also can give benefit and awareness to the society about this pandemic. Moreover, this research will provide recommendations on how to prevent from being infected with the pandemic disease. In addition, the study also explains on how to overcome the pandemic disease. This research will also serve as future reference for researchers on the subject, the effect of pandemic disease that reflect health among students. And importantly, this research will educate the Muslim students to be aware of this pandemic disease is not a trivial matter.
Section 2.0 Literature Review.
Literature review on 2020. Number 1. Economic Impact of Epidemics and Pandemics by Angelos Telivonias and Nicole Scholes. Number 2. Impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on mental health and quality of life among local residents in Liaoning Province, China, a cross-sectional study by Jingfei Zhang and Zhengfei Ma. Number 3. Disease COVID-19 to Tourism Industry by Nashirah Abubakar and Sofian Rosby. Number 4. A Review of Coronavirus Disease 2019 by Tanu Singhal. Number 5. Coronavirus Disease 2019 by Kuldeep Dama, Sharun Han and others. Lastly, What is Pandemic by David M. Morris and others. Number 7. Mental Health in the COVID-19 Pandemic by W. Cullen, G. Gulati and B.D. Kelly. Number 8. Mental Health Effects of School Closures during COVID-19 by Joyce Lee. Number 9. Mental Health Before and During the COVID-19 Pandemic, a longitudinal probability sample survey of the UK population by Matthias Pearce and others. Number 10. Effect of Lockdown Amid COVID-19 Pandemic on Air Quality of the Megacity Delhi, India by Susanta Mahato and others. Okay, Next, literature review on 2007 until 2017. First, in 2007, Martin C.J. Botsma and Neil M. Ferguson have write the article. The title is The Effect of Public Health Measures on the 1918 Influenza Pandemic in US City. On 2009, Piero Politi and others write the article about the effect of risk perception on the 2009 H1N1 pandemic influenza dynamics. Next, on 2010, perception and behaviors related to hand hygiene for the prevention of H1N1 influenza transmission among Korean university students during the peak pandemic period by He Kwan Chung and Dayong Sun and others. Next, the elusive definition of pandemic influenza by Peter Dosia on 2011, and lastly, pandemic and its impact by S. Rutherford and others on 2016-2017.
Section 3.0 Methodology of Research. On methodology of research, we have research designs. This study designed as a quantitative study. Next, data collection are using survey and the instrument by questionnaire. Next is sample, is a simple random sampling, and lastly data analysis is percentage of surveys responded. That's all from me. Thank you. Sarah here.